Hi, this is Larry Pollock of Larry Pollock Photography, and today we're going to talk about Lightroom presets. Now, you can also use these same presets as actions in Photoshop. They're a separate set. But we're going to talk about the Sleeklens presets in Lightroom because I think a lot of people would like to just stay in Lightroom, do some quick edits, get done, and not spend a lot of time sitting there on their computer. So what I've done is I've been given a set of these presets here. Here's the website, Sleeklens. They're from Copenhagen, Denmark. And if we go down here, let's see if I can, Through the Woods, this one right here is the one that I was sent to play with. And I've installed them according to their instructions, and now they're over here in Lightroom. So let's go back to Lightroom here. Now this image I've already edited using the presets. Presets are just basically recipes that will quickly change all of your settings over on the right side there, instead of you having to drag a bunch of things in all these different panels and try and figure out, and it will repeat it the same way every single time, and then you can make adjustments from there. So let me go over to the left side, and here are the Through the Woods ones right here. So I've got these opened up here. I just click that little arrow, and you see as I hover over things that image up in the top will give me a quick preview of what these will do. And these ones here are Through the Woods, TW, and 0 is all of the all-in-ones. Basically, they do everything in one shot. So this gives you this look. Boom, done. Then, once you've clicked that, you can go over here to the right-hand side, and then you can start making adjustments if there's too much color or you need to pull back something on your particular image. There's all kinds of settings here you can pull back, but you can get very close quickly by choosing one of these. Another way to do it is go down here, and you see the ones that start with 1, and then a little bit farther down we have 2. So this is a basic auto tone for color in black and white. Basic film is which I used on this one. Cinematic, you can see the different looks going on up there. It'll get you close to a particular look. So you would start with the number 1, and then you go down to number 2 and play with exposure, and number 3 to deal with color, then tone, 5 is polish, and 6 is vignetting, which I didn't do any vignetting on this picture. And these are stackable presets, meaning that as you add each one, it doesn't erase the previous one. So as you apply the base and go to number 2 and exposure, it's going to add on to it, and it keeps adding them. You can always go back here and hit your control button on the Mac. Don't sure which button on Windows, and go to settings and go over here and say reset and take this right back to its original, so you have a non-destructive edit going on here. You can always start over again, and you can always go down here also to the history and just back up through them here. So we can go all the way back here. Let's see where I want to go back to. The original is right there, and the crop angle on the end there. If I also use the backslash key, I can go to before and then after. You can see the change there. So it made an adjustment to a lens correction all the way through exposures, and I was able to recover the clouds a bit out there and bring out the shadows and the faces and not oversaturated. That was one thing. When I hit one of them, I felt it was a little too much, so I grabbed the saturation slider, slid it back, went and adjusted the greens a little bit, and I got what I wanted. So you can go right through these. If I go back to this, starting it here, and we start going up here and start working through these and playing with the white clipping, and we go up to a saturation, and see where, I know where it actually had. This is where I started this one. Those were some previous history, so it's on this spot here. So I hit the base film, and I got that look. Then I have exposure, drop the highlights back a little, especially that, so I wanted to use less highlights. Deep blue skies. I probably made a slight adjustment to the blues as well, going to the HSL on the right hand side over here. Yep, it's right on 0, so I didn't touch that. I thought about it. Tint and color pop there was a little too strong, and that's when I went and grabbed the saturation. You can see right here I pulled saturation back. I had a bit of vibrance adjustment there, then went back to saturation for a moment, a little adjustment, and green shift, just a teeny bit of green. I pushed that up to plus 14. I added clarity during the polish in number 5, and then I went to sharpen. It was real subtle there, and then the crop angle just to level that horizon back over the top of Alex McClure's head. This is Alex McClure. He is a Olympus trailblazer, and this is Nicholas Papagallo. He is a currently newly minted Lumix Luminary. So there's Olympus, Lumix, and me and my Canon here in the John Muir Wilderness. This happens to be Kearsarge Lake, just below Kearsarge Pass. So we were up there a couple years ago. So I thought this would be a good one to practice with these ones that are through the woods, basically landscape presets. So I also did one other thing, because another thing that comes with these are brushes. And so over on this next one, I made a virtual copy of this before I actually had leveled it here. But if I go here and I click on my brush in the upper right, just below the histogram up there, and we go look here, you'll notice that on this page here, where am I? Come on here, let me look for this. I'm not seeing it now. Where's my deal? You can see the difference in the middle there, but I'm looking, oh, there it is, right on his ear. If I click on this or hover over that, you can see the area that I painted in here. And what I did was I got this large brush. I used the bracketing keys to move it up and down. I got a little bit of a feather on it. And I went up here to custom brushes, and I went down here and chose a lightning one, brighten. This area here. I think I just went to brighten or brighten highlights or something. I think it was just brighten this one, through the woods brighten brush. And then I was able to come over here and just paint in by clicking and painting, or if you have a tablet, go ahead and paint in here. By doing that, now I could actually go in here to the exposure. Let me click on that one and make sure I've got it. Exposure is 46 plus dot 46, or almost half a stop. But I'm going to pull that up so you can really see it. So there's the area that I painted. And then you can go ahead and make adjustments to it later. So you have full control over that. So I'm going to take that back down to about the 45 there. That's about where I wanted it. And close this up, and we hit the before and after bracket. And you can see that I just add a little light to the middle to bring your eyes to that area instead of the edges. And I didn't need to do any vignetting because it kind of created a natural one as it was there. So I thought before I jump out of here, two things I need to show you are, I'm going to run through another picture in a moment, but I'm going to go up here to preview, and they send you a recipe thing here. So if you see the before and after, and here's all the presets that were used and the brushes that were used on it. Now that picture may be a little overdone for a lot of us, but you have control with the sliders once you've applied them, and pull any one of those back as you go along through adding your presets and adjusting your brushes. So all of these have recipes here to get these different looks. Be careful pulling, in my book, be careful pulling out shadows this far. You can get a lot of noise down in there, so you make sure you have a good clean picture going that far. So you may not be able to get that far on every image that you have out there, but here they are. This is telling you how they got these looks and what they did, and it'll give you an idea, and you can repeat that on your image. Obviously, your image exposure and everything is going to be different, so you're not going to necessarily have the exact same thing happen immediately. So here's another one from our campsite there that was actually over the shoulder, everyone in the picture there, up here on this ridge up in here on the trees. That's where we were camped, and here's my tent. And I'm going to go up here and just make a slight, it's already adjusted pretty level for the moment. I don't need to do anything there. But if I go back over here, I can see what some of these presets can do, just hovering, moving down through the all-in-ones. And generally, I don't go with an all-in-one there. I would like to go and work my way through these and choose different things. So I'm going to go back to that film base and click it, and you can see it lighten things up there a bit. And I'm going to go down next to some kind of a, and let's take a look at these other bases. I'm going to go ahead and hit Command Z and back up. I'm going to go down to, saw that just a moment ago. Let's go do this autumn color base here. It's a little strong, so let's go up here to the, it only brought the vibrance up. I'm going to back that down just a little bit, warm things up a bit. So let's go down to number 2 and play with less highlights. Bring that down, undo that, Command Z, and more highlights. Command Z, not liking either of those. We get dark and light in there. A couple of things. Might just go ahead and say less highlights just on that, just to kind of bring that up and see what happens. Play with that a couple times. Okay, you get the idea. We can go down here and reduce colors here in 3. Color correct, reduce yellows. Let's go see what that does. I like that better because it brought my greens back a little. Took my oranges out a little, so I'll go over here to the right and grab my oranges and move them up a little in the HSL slider to get my tint back, although that tint is actually now looking a lot more like it actually does, so I like that a lot better. Let's go down here to polish here, add clarity. I like a little bit of clarity, and punch it up might be too far. I'll go ahead and hit it anyways. That's not bad. So I stacked clarity and punch it up. You can always come over here and grab clarity and play around with it if it's too much. And if we wanted a little vignette, we could do a number of different things. So let's just go ahead and do subtle black. And we have it. Now we could go over here and grab a brush, and let's go ahead and we got the through edge reduced highlights. Let's go up here and take a brighten. Let's go ahead and just say brighten. That's pretty good, strong bright there. I'm going to go ahead and paint that around. You can see things changing here on the tint. And now we can come back over here and adjust our exposure where we want. And I kind of like it right about there, what I've got, so I can close that up. So very quickly, I was able to get an image looking the way I wanted without having to play around forever and then maybe not be able to repeat that. You can create your own presets, but in this case, you've got a lot of things already made for you. So I can go ahead and hit the backslash key. There's before and after, and you can see how quickly we got a much more dramatic image that I would be glad to show off this place that we went camping. So there you go. There's the Sleeklens presets. They're real easy to install with the instructions. You open them up, start clicking away, and make adjustments on the right, and you get great images. So there's some links I will have below the video with the text, and I also have it here on my blog that you can get over to the Sleeklens site and get a hold of these. They also are Photoshop actions that you can do the same thing, but they're done in Photoshop to create the basically a recipe that runs through a series of actions to get similar effects. But if you're just a Lightroom user, here you go. You can do all of your editing right here in Lightroom. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll find this useful.